So, today, on the adventures of Maria, we shall dive into the deep, complicated, convoluted adventures of the Powerbook 520C. This is a Powerbook 520C. You can tell because, well, you gotta be a blind ass idiot if you don't notice the fucking 520C. Perhaps one of the most interesting computers I've ever come across in my years of poking and fucking around with shit. And now I'm not gonna drop a box of floppies on this thing because actually this thing is in pretty damn good condition for a Powerbook. Because a lot of these like to get mutilated or turned into God knows what. And before we go on with the video, I kind of changed filming locations, this, that, live stuff, so it's why suddenly I'm dropping you with this fucker. And yeah, beside this fucker, we got a fucking Macintosh SE for no reason, but I'll explain that later. So let's take a little gander around the girl. You know, you got your front. On the side, you got your battery. Every time I'd like to check. This fucker hasn't leaked at all, surprisingly, and this thing is from 94. On the back, we have your power plug and the door. And I had to replace the door. Not because I broke the door, but because I didn't have a door. But honestly, that door fixed the computer's backside pretty well. So of course you got your modem, you got your audio in, your audio out, ADB, Apple Desktop Bus, yeah. Ethernet, apparently, well, oh yeah, it has a little thing. I don't know, weird fucking time for early internet shit, yeah. Video out, SCSI, and your modem, surprisingly. And your hole to make sure nobody nags your shit. And then, of course, you got your patented trademark Powerbook feet that I never use. And they will forever remain never used. On the other side, you got a few torque screws and another battery. I swear to God, I don't do this intentionally. This shit just decides to... There we go. Another battery. On the bottom of the computer, we have Powerbook 500 series, made in USA, 1994 Apple computer. You know, you got your nice dual scan color display there, I believe it is. Your trackpad, no more balls, okay. I don't know why, but the early generation of Powerbooks always just seem to disintegrate. Okay, you get those, yet these guys are always just fucking standing for some reason. So when I found this online, I'm just kind of like, whoa, shit, it actually works, and I bought it impulsively. That's not an issue because she's here. I'm gonna take care of her until she does something weird, and she did. So let's plug her up. And so she has a somewhat fresh install. There we go. A somewhat fresh install of System 7.1.5. Or no, System 7.5 something. When I originally got the laptop, it had a bunch of stuff on there from the previous owner. And so, I was gonna go and wipe the drive, right? And then, so I put a floppy drive in my USB drive, this, that, whatever bullshit. And then, apparently the floppy disk just wasn't having it. And so, what essentially happened was, this part was bent in, or bent out, or something. It got stuck in the drive, the heads got caught. I pulled the disk out, and it literally, pun not intended, de-headed the drive. So it kind of led me to being, well, the only option for transferring files between this thing and my computer over there is to use the fucking emu. But the problem with the Emu is, you saw in the back, there's no fucking external floppy port. So, I have to rely on 800K images with the Macintosh here. So, what I would have to do is take the file. Well, originally, I would take the file, and then I would segment the file with Compact Pro. But the issue with that is, you're doing that on a fucking 8 megahertz fucking machine. That's gonna take ass forever. And so, that leads us to today. Yeah, for some reason, I gotta hold up like this power plug slightly up, and then there she goes. Now, keep in mind, this is an era of Mac I've never really played around with, because I've always played with later 2000s computers, and then the Mac Plus, and then, well, recently the Mac SE over here, so... This is going to be interesting to film. I think you'll soon see the problem that we will be trying to correct today. And of course, the very, very characteristic background is just going to kick in there. Just don't mind that. Actually, we'll change it to something that's a little bit easier. Well, fucking After Dark. Something that's a little bit easier on the eyes. There we go. That's a lot better. So the interesting thing about this laptop is it actually is rocking 30-ish, or maybe the maxed out 30-something megs of RAM. I'm not too sure. But I do plan on upgrading that RAM a bit more. Well, not RAM. The OS. Fuck. Because once I get that external drive in, I'm probably going to put it on 8.1. And, I don't know, just the concept of seeing a system this old run 8 just seems really interesting to me. If I try to eject the drive... the disk is stuck. And of course, me having PTSD from the last incident, and glad that it was the USB drive and not the actual Powerbook or Macintosh's drive, I didn't yank the disk out. So the only solution here is to take the Powerbook apart. Now, of course, I've heard numerous horror stories about these things kind of like disintegrating or some weird bullshit. It's kind of like the iBooks, but honestly, I think... I don't know, maybe the iBooks have a little bit more tolerance compared to these, or I don't fucking know. So of course, what we're gonna do is we're gonna shut her down and try to take her apart. But apparently these are really easy to take apart compared to something like the 190 or the whatever series. I don't know what to call it. I remember specifically the 190, you had to take like the top off, some shit like that. But everything, you just do it from the keyboard, surprisingly. And this was, like I said, a generation before the 190 and everything. Or 190 CS or whatever it was. So, let's shut her down. Forgot. That's not in this version. Alright, now for the scary part. Taking this fucker apart. Now then, the scary part. There's two guides we can go off of. There's the iFixit guide, and then there's the actual Apple service manual. What are we gonna do? Well, naturally, I go off of both. But of course, with time, depending on what kind of system it is or whatever, random plastic or metal on the ground, you know, I start to do it muscle memory-wise, all that. It was the same thing with the iBook Clamshell and the iBook Snow. Furry versus Powerbook. Alright, I got my bowl of cereal here. Let's take apart a computer. Yeah, watch me just dump this bowl of cereal on the fucking laptop. Anyways, now remove the two T8 screws with your T9 bit. There should be one over here somewhere. Oh shit, we gotta remove that shit. God damn it. Rather look at this thoroughly. No weird plastic bullshit. I don't know, this laptop is kind of solid, I'll be honest. Feels solid at least. The hinges don't feel stiff or anything, and even if they do break or something, it's like there's a bunch of shit on Thingiverse. Fuck. There's a bunch of shit on Thingiverse to like replace all the plastic shit. I don't like doing that. Oh. Oh, it's loose. Oh. Hey, look at that. Nice. Alrighty, that's a good sign. Get my finger in there. Whoa. Because my channel is based around not weird bullshit. I swear. If I would have stepped on that laptop right during that moment, I would have been really fucking pissed. We had to get the professionals in. They know what to do. Take it from here, guys. Alright. So, I think that was on my part, but the funny thing, like I said, is they don't say, hey, use a T6 bit to get that shit out. And I don't want to have to do some weird bullshit to fucking get the cover off and everything. There we go. Alrighty. It's like looking at a mini version of the fucking 800K drive, I swear. She just decided to fucking pop out there. Okay, I'm gonna try a different floppy then. That is so fucking weird. I got the Mac partially assembled. I don't think the screws... Nah, that won't be a problem. So I don't have the drive screwed down, but there's enough in there to where it will hold in place. So we're gonna test out the drive to make sure it still works. Alrighty, let's see. Oh. I think that has to do with... I don't know. Let's just put the battery in and just kind of... Yeah, I think it's due to that loose connector or something. Alright, she's all put back together. I think the drive is good now. So... Of course, I gotta do my little ritual with her. There we go. There we go. Alrighty. Use this disc here. Alright, that's a good sign. There we go. Alrighty, cool. Forget how weird these displays are in terms of contrast and brightness. And sometimes the contrast does more than the brightness. That's the funny part. Yeah, I think I got stuck in there because of the tape on the floppy. Well, I'm glad to know that my drive isn't dead, and luckily she didn't take much effort to fix. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I know it wasn't anything crazy or substantial, but I think it was pretty interesting. So I'm going to close it out here and say, luckily we didn't kill an iBook, and luckily it wasn't too bad. I do want to, like, focus on the channel more and such, and on new projects, such as this. I may do another video on the Powerbook, I'm not too sure. But for sure, I am going to try and keep up with the channel a little bit more. But yeah, and that's everything for now, and until next time.